guys, my name is Sarah.
And I'm Kian with Conservation Nebraska. Welcome to our new upcycling series,
Rehash Your Trash! Before we really get started, just a brief introduction to who we are and what we do. Conservation Nebraska protects our state's natural legacy by educating the public, supporting communities, and increasing civic engagement.
We decided to create this series to inspire people with creative methods of waste divergence. The more we're able to reuse, the less that goes to recycling centers, and the less that goes into our landfills, consuming space and contaminating natural environments.
Now let's
upcycle!
Today, we are focusing on cardboard. Cardboard comes in many forms, from the thin cardstock found in cereal boxes and greeting cards, to the thick corrugated cardboard our packages come in. There are many creative projects you can make out of this versatile product, from hanging ornaments out of thin cardboard, to cat scratch pads out of thick cardboard, to seed starting trays out of egg cartons. Did you know that cardboard and paper products are one of the most wasted recyclable items in Nebraska? Paper products, including cardboard, make up 41% of our landfills, and only 66% of recyclable paper products actually make it into the recycling bins. While it is great news that we're recycling more than half, that still means that out of every 3 cardboard boxes, 1 is wasted in the landfill. We believe we should celebrate our wins and keep striving for better. In this episode, we are going to make an adorable cottage-themed bird feeder out of corrugated cardboard. Here's what you'll need: a hot glue gun, an X-Acto knife, paint brushes, acrylic paint, and an old cup and rag to clean your brushes, a measuring tape, twine, and of course, your corrugated cardboard. First, we need to measure, cut, and fold our cardboard pieces. We'll start by tracing out a piece that measures 5 inches by 12 inches with a marking at 7 inches where we will fold. Once your first piece is cut out, we can save time by tracing it to create the second piece. To fold, use your X-Acto knife to lightly score along the 7-inch mark line and use pressure to create a defined crease. Repeat this step with both pieces to create the 4 walls of your bird feeder. Now we need a roof. This piece will also measure 5 inches by 12 inches, but it will be marked at the 6-inch mark to fold instead. Finally, let's make our floor. Since the walls of our feeder will measure 5 inches by 7 inches, we are going to make the floor 6 inches by 8 inches so we have room to glue it together. The final step of this phase is cutting out our windows. I decided to make little archways, but you can make these openings any shape you want. Just make sure the openings are large enough for a bird to easily fit through with enough room to stand on to get the seeds. Once that is complete, it's time to assemble. Heat up your glue gun and get ready to assemble your bird feeder. First, we will attach the walls by making a line of hot glue and matching the long side to the short side. Make sure all your windows are facing up. Glue the other side to form a box and allow it to cool. To make the floor a perfect fit, put your walls on top of the floor piece and trace out a rectangle from the inside of the box. Lightly score with the X-Acto knife. When you fold along the scoring, you will notice little squares forming in the corners. We are going to cut those squares off. Then, we can glue the floor to the inside of the walls. Once that is dry, let's add our roof. Before we glue, we need to poke 2 holes on either side of the center for our string to go through. I measured 2.5 inches from each side and about 3/4 of an inch from the center and used my X-Acto knife to whittle out the holes. I also decided to sharpen up the edges and add a couple of extra folds 1.5 inches from the center to create a barn roof effect. But this step is optional. Once all of our glue is cooled and hardened, it's time to paint. This step is where we can start to get creative. I decided that I wanted a gray and brown shingled roof with red brick sides, but you can paint your bird feeder however you like. Let your imagination run wild. If you are new to using acrylic paint, here are a few quick tips on color mixing. First, a little goes a long way. To change the color of your paint, you will likely only need a small drop. Work slowly and remix often so you waste as little as possible. Second, darker pigments tend to dominate. If you want a darker shade of red, for example, you will only need to add 1 drop of black paint to a quarter-sized amount of the red. However, if you want a lighter shade of red, you will only need a drop of red paint for a quarter-sized amount of white. The final step is to add our twine. Cut a piece about 2 feet long and thread it through the holes in your roof. Tie with a secure knot and you're ready to go. Here's my finished design. Let's see what it looks like in the daylight. Beautiful! I can't wait to see all the birds that come to my yard. Thank you for watching this episode of Rehash Your Trash. If you make this upcycling project, make sure to tag us on social media with hashtag #RehashYourTrash. Make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell if you want to be notified about the next episode or future events and webinars that Conservation Nebraska has planned. Thanks again for watching and have a great day!